No matter what happens in life, no matter the obstacles or the storm, no matter if everything is crashing down all around you, you need to push forward and through it despite it all. This is God's desire. God wants to make you unstoppable. He wants to make you unshakable, to stand when nobody else will, to be dependable and someone that He can count on to obey and that other people can count on to come through, even in the hard times. But the question is, how can a person become that? How is this achieved? How is this kind of person? Are they born or are they made? Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. How does a person become somebody that's like that, that's unshakable, that's dependable, that stands when nobody else will? Well, it's because they run to God when these things start to happen. It's because they don't depend on their own strength, on their own wisdom. It's because they realize that in His presence is where true strength comes from. Just imagine, right? If God created us, and His breath is what gave us life. And when we go into His presence, we get recharged like a battery, because He is the source of life, because He is the tree of life. So number one, this kind of person knows to immediately run into God's presence. Number two, which is in the next verse, it says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So number two is these people don't rely on their own strength to help pull this burden. So yes, they are recharged, but they are also giving a helping hand. Back in the old days, when they plowed, they used to use bulls or cows or horses, but they would attach them together to the plow, to a yoke. And these two horses or two bulls, when they plowed together, they'd be attached to the same yoke side by side, pulling the weight, and the weight would be distributed between the two of them. So as they're working to accomplish a good purpose, they're sharing the burden. It's the same way with God. But He doesn't just take our yoke upon Himself, right? And plow with us. We exchange ours and our burden for His. And then we plow with Him. So it makes the burden much, much easier. If you ever hitched two animals together that are different sizes and different strengths, the stronger and bigger animals always going to be pulling more weight, and the smaller and weaker animals not going to be pulling as much weight. So it's not evenly distributed. That's why when you have a yoke and two animals, they have to be the same size and the same strength in order to pull it evenly. But with God, it doesn't work like that. He is the bigger one. He is the stronger one, and He will take most of the weight. We take only part of it. That means that this isn't going to be easy, that this isn't going to be just all the pain and the heartache and the work is just going to go out the window when you come with God. He's just saying that there's just going to be a different type of burden, and this burden is going to be shared, and He will be taking most of it. You don't no longer have to do it on your own. So what is this work? It can be your purpose and your present calling. It could be raising a family. It could be your job. It could be whatever it is that's going on in your life. That's the burden that's being pulled. That's the work that's being done. And that's the yoke that's on that person. The third part that makes people like this was buried in that verse. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. So it says not only take the yoke, but to learn from it, right? One thing that I know, and I know from experience, being the kind of person that is dependable, the kind that will stand no matter the storm, no matter what's going on around them, even if they want to quit, but they keep going, that kind of person isn't born. They are trained and they're built up, and God does the training. So not only do we take the burden, His purpose, His work upon us, which is much better than ours, but we also allow Him to teach us on how to be able to be that kind of man or woman of God. And the thing that He'll teach us is that as soon as these things start happening, you need to run to Him as quickly as possible. you need to go to Him for guidance. You need to go to Him for strength, to be recharged. And you need to go to Him to get advice and to learn what to do next, what needs to be done. That's how these people are made, and that's how these people stand out when all chaos goes on around them. And the funny part about these kind of people is you never really know who they are until everything around them starts falling apart. And then you start to see them shine, standing up against the crowds of everybody else that's running the opposite direction. These are the ones that just stand firm. And you never really know who they are until these crazy times happen, until they're tested. As such, God wants to make you unshakable. He wants to make you into the kind of person that no matter the storms that are going on around you in your life, that you're going to be able to stand and stand through them all. And not only stand, but to thrive. He also wants to make you into a dependable person, somebody he can depend on being obedient when the time comes, and someone who other people can depend on when all hell is breaking loose around them. Somebody they can turn to, and that person will always point them back to God, so they can also get that strength. If you are willing, God will make you into this person, and so much more.